Hello everyone. What happened in the US market last Friday? Second, what US Treasury Secretary said about US China rare earth deal? Third, updates regarding RBI's trade relief measures for exporters and Jeffrey's statement on state elections. All this we are going to discuss in our regular pre-market report video for today, 17th November 2025 for the Indian stock market in terms of Nifty and Bank Nifty. First, about what happened in the US market last Friday. One of the FOMC member and Fed President Neel Kashkari told Bloomberg that he opposed a rate cut in last October month and he is going to oppose the rate cut on December month FOMC meeting as well. This statement, together with the absence of economic data, made the US market to close negative. However, because AI-related stocks dropped significantly last week, short covering on Nasdaq made it to recover. Hence, Nasdaq alone closed mild positive 0.13%, whereas S&P 500 closed mild negative and Dow Jones decreased by 0.65%. In case of VIX, it's still around 20, not reducing fast enough. However, there is a positive thing in US. During weekend, US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said that the rare earth deal between US and China will hopefully be done by Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is on 27th November next week. Just for info, a month ago, Trump and Chinese president together announced that they will form and follow the framework agreement. So this statement is a follow-up of that. Either way, this is positive from market perspective. Regarding Indian ADR, as it is, banking stocks and Reliance GDR closed positive, whereas IT stocks closed negative. If you calculate the arbitrage, ICICI Bank ADR, HDFC Bank ADR and Reliance GDR all showing positive 0.5% difference, whereas Infosys and Wipro ADR both showing negative 1% difference. So banking stock and Reliance looks okay, but IT stocks showing further weakness. Then about GIFT Nifty, Saturday it managed to trade about 26,000 mark and closed at 26,000. Hence, equating that with our spot market, it's indicating the gap up opening of 30 to 50 points. Please note, GIFT Nifty status may change as time progresses. So those were the things happened in the dollar market. Let's move to the new India related stuff. First, about RBI's trade relief measures. On Friday, after the market close, RBI announced various export-related trade relief measures such as moratorium on all term loans to be paid that are due between September 1st and December 31st, 2025. Meaning, during this moratorium period, interest would continue to accrue but will be on simple interest basis without the compounding effect. And other measures include the maximum credit period for export loans to 450 days from earlier 270 days. So obviously these are positive for the following tariff impacted export related sectors. In addition to that, it's positive for banks as well, but not extreme bullish. Let me explain how. In a way, moratorium avoids sudden NPA spikes in exporter portfolios and 450-day extended credit period, which in turn reduces the delinquency risk. Then the very important one, Indian government's 2 lakh rupees credit guarantee, which in turn heavily lowers the default risk on export loans for the banks. So as we discussed, it's mild positive for Indian banking stocks. Then second, about Jeffrey's statement on state elections. During weekend, after the Bihar results, Jeffries released the statement that over the next 12 to 15 months, there are 4 state elections are due, such as West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Assam, and in which they believe as an election promise the government will use the cash transfer schemes especially for women to earn the popularity. So that from the stock market perspective, it's positive for consumption. And they believe the following stocks like Bharti Airtel, TVS Motor, Crompton Greaves, Godrej Consumer, Marico and Jubilant Footworks are their top picks. So to some extent, we could say all these stocks will be on focus today. Then third, on Friday, Maruti Suzuki said they will recall around 40,000 units of its Grand Vitara over some quality issue. From the OEM perspective, it's not a big deal. but market might potentially react negative for this. As a summary, US market closed mixed with Nasdaq being mild positive. However, this US Treasury Secretary statement related to US-China rare earth deal is clearly positive for global momentum. Hence, in line with that, GIFT Nifty, banking stocks ADR and Reliance GDR indicating the positive opening. But still, please look out for any announcement related to India-US trade deal from both the governments, from India side as well as US side, since that could potentially influence the market. About institution, in the cash market last Friday for the 5th session in a row, FI was net sellers, in fact mega net sellers. They net sold for near 5,000 crore rupees. And DAA also mega net buyers, they net bought for 8,500 crore rupees. Then coming to participant wise open interest analysis, last Friday index future open interest increased 3.9%, whereas on the index options 32.1% new call option open interest and 13% new put option open interest were added. Because of more call option open interest addition, the PCI ratio decreased to 0.93 from 1.08. Stance wise, client or retail traders holding net 8.6% open interest favoring bullish position, whereas FII and proprietary traders having net 5.5% and 2.5% of their open interest respectively favoring bearish position. In case of future index, client and proprietary traders having 69% and 55% of their open interest respectively on the long side, whereas on the other hand, FII is holding massive 89% of their open interest on the short side. Moving on, regarding 25 delta risk reversal, we know last Friday Nifty spot closed at 25,910, and for the tomorrow expiry, the 25 delta call strike is 26,125, whereas the 25 delta put strike is 25,765. And if we calculate the 25 delta risk reversal, which is now coming as positive 0.93%. Please note, this is a meaningfully positive risk reversal, which is very unusual for Nifty. In addition, the call 25 delta is 215 points above the spot, whereas put 25 delta is only 145 points below the spot. So for the same absolute 25 delta, the call strike is farther from spot compared to the put strike. Hence, the upside probability distribution is fatter than downside right now. All this telling us for now, market is pricing more chance of an upside move and less fear of a downside move. Here, please note, this is the present situation. This could change when market opens. Then, as per stock open interest, Tata Tech, Eicher Motors, SRF, Tata Steel, Bajaj Auto, TVS Motors and Ashok Leyland are some of the 53 stocks that got an increase in open interest along with a negative close, indicating the short build-up. On the other hand, Oil India, Inox Wind, Muthoot Finance, KFin Tech, Torrent Pharma, Glenmark and IIFL are some of the 76 stocks that got an increase in open interest with a positive price close, which means these stocks indicating the long build-up. About the things to look out, early morning Japan's Q3 GDP growth rate is due. Then in the aftermarket hours, India's trade data and employment data is scheduled to release. In addition, in the night, US November month New York Manufacturing Index is the important thing we need to look out for today. One more thing, again there is an escalation between Russia and Ukraine. Hence, because of damage, Russia suspended their major port, which in turn increases the oil price by 2%. So during weekend, WTI crude increased to near 60 US dollars per barrel and Brent crude traded at 64.5 US dollars per barrel. Coming to technical, last Friday Nifty opened more than 100 points gap down and was range bound throughout the session. However, it gained strength in the last hour and closed positive at 25,910. Thus, on the daily chart, Nifty formed a long bullish candle and sustained above all key moving averages and upper Bollinger Band, with short-term moving averages trending upward. Furthermore, RSI stayed above 60 level at 62 with a bullish crossover and MACD inclined towards the reference line. So technically, all these indicating strengthening bullish momentum and the potential for continued upside in the near term. Hence, the immediate resistance is at 26,100 mark and the crucial support could be at 25,500 to 25,450 zone. In case of Bank Nifty, similar to Nifty, it also opened more than 300 points gap down and remained range bound but gained strength in the last hour and closed at 58,520. Thus, on the daily chart, Bank Nifty formed a long bullish candle and also sustained above all key moving averages. In addition, it sustained above the falling trend line, which was resistance earlier and now act as the support for the third straight session, and reached the upper end of the Bollinger Band with RSI at 67 showing a positive crossover. All these indicating a continuation of the uptrend with strong buying interest and supportive momentum. Hence, 58,700 to 58,800 zone is expected to act as the crucial resistance with strong support at 57,800 to 57,700 zone. Regarding the options front, the maximum call option openers was at 26,000 strike, followed by 26,500 and 26,100, with maximum new call option rating at 26,000, 25,800 and 26,100 strike. Meanwhile, the maximum put option openers was at 25,500 strike, followed by 25,800 and 25,700, with maximum new put option rating at 25,700, 25,750 and 25,600 strike. Thus, from options data, it's indicated that 26,000 as the immediate hurdle for Nifty, with 25,800 to 25,700 range as the support. So that's all in this video. Hope you got some information. Please consider subscribing the channel and liking the video so that it will help me beat the algorithm and also motivate me to do more. Please don't make any investment decision based on this, as I'm not a SEBI registered advisor. I'm doing this for me and viewers' educational purpose only. Thanks for watching.